want you to start praying over your toilet. As I began to look into it, I realized that it's one of the places demons and witches work so hard.
When your own pastor says we have to pray over the toilet, anoint the toilet with oil, because witchcraft transactions happen in the toilet.
All right, guys, once again, I want to welcome you back to church today. And here in this video, it seems that there's an issue, doctrinal issue between Dr. Abel Damina and Archbishop Duncan. Recently, the Archbishop Duncan has preached a message where he said that you should pray very well. You should pray, re-pray before you visit your toilet. That a lot of demons reside in the toilet, and this has caused Dr. Abel Damina in the wrong side, and Dr. Abel Damina also challenged this particular message, this particular revelation, let me put it that way, from Archbishop Duncan, that you should pray very well before you go to your toilet. That demon heavily reside in the toilet. All right, guys, I don't know what you think about this, but let us watch this argument between Dr. Abel Damina and Archbishop Duncan
Bible and put Dr. Abel Damina edits the Bible and then use AI to draw a younger picture of me. And I smiled because he thought he was being sarcastic. But actually, the truth of the matter is, when I said salvation is eternal, you say I have edited the Bible. But when your own pastor says we have to pray over the toilet, anoint the toilet with oil, because witchcraft transactions happen in the toilet. That when people flush the toilet in your house, they are flushing out your brain, they are flushing out your destiny, they are flushing out your vision. When they said that to you, they didn't edit the Bible. You shall go deeper, man of God. See to it that no one carries you off as spoil or makes you yourselves captive by his so-called philosophy and intellectualism and vain deceit, idle fancies and plain nonsense, following human tradition, men's ideas of the material rather than the spiritual world. Just crude notions, following the rudimentary and elemental teachings of the universe and disregarding the teachings of Christ. If you do not want to submit to be taught the Bible, then you will keep praying over toilets as a place of spiritual transaction, which no apostle taught it, and anything that was not preached by Jesus or the apostles is not sound doctrine.
So I want you to start praying over your toilet. I realize that most times when certain visitors come to see me, that spiritually I don't trust them, the first place they want to go to is the toilet. And after they finish using the toilet, the atmosphere changes. As I began to look into it, I realized that it's one of the places demons and witches work so hard, because you see, the toilet is a place where you go and you discharge waste. So a lot of wastage. Watch carefully. These powers of darkness, the enemy we are dealing is very subtle, and these are not matters of superstition. These are spiritual facts. Amen. They are not superstition. When you start praying, you begin to see changes. You'll be shocked. And they go there, and as people go to the toilet to discharge waste, they make counter declaration that so let your life be wasted, let your finances be wasted, and as you flush the toilet, let your memory and your favor and glory be flushed down into the waste. I'm telling you, a lot of transaction goes on in the toilet. And so I want you to start praying over your toilet. Pour oil into the bowl, pray over the toilet, and block and reverse any witchcraft and demonic transactions that goes on with your toilet. Do you realize a lot of people die in the toilet and the bathroom? Do you realize that even sometimes snakes find their way through the sewage to come into the toilet bowl? It's one of the most vulnerable places in our lives and in our dwellings and in our house. You have to sanctify the toilet. you have to take oil and pray over your bathroom. Are you hearing me? Listen, I know theology. I know theology. I've studied theology. As you see me like that, I go to bed studying. So I'm telling you something as a spiritual man, not by superstition, but I'm telling you the weakest spot in your house that witches and demons use against all of us is the toilet. Start praying over the toilet, and then the water you bath with, the water you shower with, go to the source of the water. The source of the water in your house. You see these water reservoirs and things we put there, you got to pray over them. Because you see, we are dealing with water spirits. Water spirits. And they are marines. They work through water. And so they work through the water sewage in your house. They enter. Somebody can camp. Years ago, a lady came to my house and she removed her slippers when she entered the gate, and she started walking on her barefoot. I didn't know why she was doing that. You know, some of these people, they have superstition. I thought she's come to a holy house, so I just ignored it. Years later, we were praying at a prayer meeting, and she started manifesting. And you know what she said? She said the day she came to my house and removed her slippers and walked barefoot, she was leaving her footprints on the grounds. So when she went back to where she came from, she traveled in the spirit to trace her footsteps to come and work in the house in the night. So when it comes to the toilet, they can come and pour powder. Because I've watched something. That this particular person years ago, anytime she comes to my house, first place she has to go to is the toilet. And every time she comes and goes, something switches in the atmosphere. It never dawned on me. But I'm telling you, watch people who come to your house, and every time they come, they want to use your toilet. And some of them, they will leave their bag and they'll go to the toilet and oh, I forgot my bag, and they'll come and take their bag and go there. One of my staff was telling me something yesterday when I started dealing with this issue. He said the sister had a very, very good job, brilliant lady, good job, and a friend of her came to visit her. When the friend came to visit her, she went to the bathroom, and I think she took some time, so she followed up to go and see. The friend poured powder into the bowl, the toilet bowl. From that day, she lost her job. She hasn't recovered up to today. She's been sick. It's like she's gone off mentally. Stand on your feet. From today, as much as is possible, every now and then, anoint your toilet. Pray over your toilet. Pour oil. That anything done to me, any manipulation going on as I flush this toilet, my glory will not be flushed down. As I release waste, my finances will not be wasted. My honor will not be wasted. My life will not be wasted. The life of my children and grandchildren will not be wasted.
When people flush the toilet in your house, they are flushing out your brain, they are flushing out your destiny, they are flushing out your vision. When they said that to you, they didn't edit the Bible. You will shout, "Go deeper, man of God." See to it that no one carries you off as spoil or makes you yourselves captive by his so-called philosophy and intellectualism and vain deceit, idle fancies and plain nonsense. Following human tradition, men's ideas of the material rather than the spiritual world. Just crude notions, following the rudimentary and elemental teachings of the universe and disregarding the teachings of Christ. If you do not want to submit to be taught the Bible, then you will keep praying over toilets as a place of spiritual transaction, which no apostle taught it, and anything that was not preached by Jesus or the apostles is not sound doctrine.
All right, guys, what do you think? Do you really believe that there is a lot of demon reside in your toilet? You better pray very hard before you visit your toilet. All right, guys, let me get your opinion. Let me get your comment regarding this. So whatever you have to say, why can't you relate it to the comment section? And don't forget to join us here, like, shares, subscribe for more updates on this channel. Then let us do this again in another video.